very much. Eigo Daiki. Well, hi everyone. I'm Ryusei. And could you raise your hands if you're grade 10? Who's grade 10 here? Okay. And who's grade 11? Whoa, okay. And who's grade 12? Nice, okay. Grade 12s, grade 10s, grade 11s. Very nice, very nice. No, I was talking with your teachers. I was asking around, how's grade 12 doing? How's grade 11 doing? And how's grade 10 doing? And I was very glad to hear that everyone has been, well, they told me that you guys are doing very well. Grade 12s are finishing up the IB or the GLD programs. Some of you have already sent your applications. For grade 11s, you're starting your IB career. You're on the process of that, or your GLD programs as well. And then grade 10s, you're about to choose whether IB or GLD is the right path for you. So that's a whole different story. But today, what I wanted to sort of share with you was how I managed to get into UC Berkeley, what drives me to get to such a university. And more importantly, probably, is I want to help as many of you as I can to sort of dream bigger and sort of try to look for your university pathway, because each person is different. And that is where I will start today. So I want to share this quote by Steve Jobs, who said, your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. And as you sort of listen to what I'm about to tell you, I want you to, pay attention, of course, to be interested, but more than that, I want you to not take my story, let's say, my pathway, as the only pathway. Each one of you is different and is unique. You have skills, talents that make you the person you are. So use those to your advantage to find your own pathway. Take my story as an inspiration to design your own pathway. So that's where I'll start. With that said, I want to start with a question for all of you. How many of you have an idea, a dream university, a university that you're interested in? If you could raise your hands. Does anyone have sort of a dream university, a university that is interesting? Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Suzuki, you seem to be very enthusiastic. Would you like to tell us sort of, and there's no good or wrong, would you like to tell us sort of what university you're interested in, why?
Okay. So I'm interested in international medical school in Japan, because I'm speaking English for a long time, and also my grandmother is kind of related to medical jobs. So I respect that part, so that's why I want to get into the medical school. And then, as I said, I can speak English. I don't want to lose my English skills, so I want to go to international medical. Yeah, that's why I dream university. Yeah.
Awesome. Now, Kay, I know you have a university. Could you pass this to Kay?
Well, thanks for picking me. So, I guess my dream university is UC, I guess, LA or Davis. I'm into UC Berkeley. But that's basically it, like a high-ranking college, I guess.
And why are you interested in UCLA, UC Davis?
Well, I'm from California, so I kind of want to go back to California. I don't want to be in Japan. So, yeah.
Okay, so my dream school is Imperial College London, which is the best school involves technology. So I want to learn some majors related to history, which is my interest since childhood. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Amazing, amazing. So we have medical school, we have California, and then we have Imperial College London. They're all great schools. And something that I've learned, and I'm really glad that all three of them were able to sort of explain why they were interested in their particular schools. Because something that is very important when you're sort of going about universities, life in general, jobs, is to start finding why you want to pursue a career in such field, or why you want to study at a certain university. You have to start with why, and there's a very famous book that says start with why. So that will be sort of the first thing that I would want to say. And then next, one thing that I do want to emphasize is the idea of choice. And what we just heard was they're choosing their university pathways. And it is up to each and every one of you to decide what university life you want. And it's a choice. You can make it consciously or unconsciously. You can choose consciously, I want this because of this reason, because I'm interested in this, because I'm passionate about this other thing. Or you can make it unconsciously. By choosing not to think about it, you're also making a decision. And something important about making a decision is each person, as I said, is unique and different. So your time for making a decision will be different. But the important thing is making a decision. And then the next thing I want to share is something that I was told the first day I arrived at Berkeley. When I arrived, the very first thing that our chancellor, Chris, told us was, you get out what you put in. And basically what that means, you can choose how much effort you're going to put into something to get something out of it. So depending on how much, especially for like university and beyond, no one is going to be pushing you around to do, hey, you should be in your homework, hey, you should be coming to classes. It's up to you. And when you come to those classes, it is up to you to get out as much as you can out of the class, as a teacher, out of a relationship, out of friendships. So you get out what you put in. And then the first thing that I would encourage all of you to have is to have a vision. You have to have some sort of direction of where you want to go. And this is really important. So this is the idea of choosing what university life you want. And it can also be what kind of life you want. It doesn't have to be attached to university, because university is not for everyone. So if you are interested in universities, I would encourage you to find your dream university. And you have to find your purpose. Why do you want to study at a certain university? And I will sort of share my story from, and, well, this is the book. And so I was interested in launching startups, starting businesses. I'm also interested in political science, international relations, learning about economics, how different countries sort of interact with each other, and why. And when I was looking for my university, those were criteria that I determine whether this school was right for me or not. You can start at the rankings. That's a good place to start, but it's only a start. After that, you have to dig in, and really not just to the university, but you have to dig in into yourself to say, what am I passionate about? And why am I passionate about such thing? And then the next thing is, think big. Especially at your age, you have nothing to dream big. You have no costs, you have no children, you have no risks. It's your moment to be thinking big, to be dreaming big. And in my case, what I told to myself when I was 15, before I arrived to Aoba, was I want to study in the best university in the world. So, and this was only my statement, but whatever you're interested in, if you're interested in soccer, in arts, don't just dream of like an artist, or I want to be a soccer player, or I want to be a computer scientist, or I want to be a teacher, right? I encourage you to think bigger. I want to be perhaps the best teacher in the world. I want to be the best soccer coach, or I want to be the greatest artist in this region, and I want to win this competition. So think big. And another question that I would have for you is, how many of you, and you can just put your hands up, how many of you have an idea of what you would want to do in the future? It doesn't have to be very solid, very concrete, but enough to say that, oh, I'm interested in this, and maybe I would want to pursue this in university or here at Aoba. It's okay. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Now the rest of you, let's ask someone. Raya.
Yeah.
Could you tell us, what are your interests?
Like more interested in like the language field, I guess, more in like math and science. So I want to like do law. Yeah. Thank you.
Who else didn't raise their hand? Let's see. Let's ask again. How many of you have an idea of what you want to do in the future? Okay, we can ask Sakura.
So, okay. I want to go to like more like something related to films, and yeah, because and also more related to animations, because I like to direct it for at the edge of the word or something. The director analyze the work really like precisely and all that. So yeah, that more like Raya. I want to go to more language and art. Yeah.
Awesome. Now, for the two, thank you very much. Raya, Sakura, you're going to be in the video. For the two of you that you were very happily, I hope, shared your interests. Now, the idea would be, how can you turn that interest or that passion or that idea that you have into something bigger, into a goal, into something that you can pursue with passion, with grit, with perseverance. And then here comes my third advice, and this one I had to learn it in Aoba. And it goes as, be proactive, not reactive. And to explain what that means is, don't wait for your environment to push you to take action. Don't wait for others to tell you what you should be doing. Don't wait for the right timing to come, because probably the odds that that happens is very slim. Don't wait for the resources to just pop out to you. Don't wait for the opportunity to come to you, but rather go seek that opportunity. Go ask your professors. Start taking action yourself. Start researching about universities. Start asking yourself, what am I interested in? What am I passionate about? What am I good at? And what do I want to do with that towards the future? And there's a saying that says, it's never too late to start. But at least preferably for me, what I would want to say is, it's never too early to start. Why should you wait till you're older? Why should you wait until you have graduated from university? Because the thing is, when you have the mindset of it's never too late to start, then you keep postponing it. You keep going after the short-term goals instead of trying to envision what you want to do in the long term. So it's never too early to start. And this one was something that I had to learn in Aoba. Because, well, as many of you know probably, to get into a university like UC Berkeley, it is not usually something very easy. So I had to start researching myself. I went to ask Mr. Fadale, hey, I want to study at a place like Harvard. I want to study at a place like UC Berkeley. How do I do this? Can you help me? And then he started telling me, oh, you should be looking at this, looking at that. And then at the same time, I would ask other teachers. So back in the time, there was a teacher called Mr. Connolly in English, and I would ask him, so he's from the US, how does some university like that? And then after asking those people, I went into the internet and started reading for many hours to start researching how does one get into UC Berkeley. And I started finding out that you need, of course, good grades, but it's not just good grades. You need extraordinary grades. And then also, good grades are not just going to get you into a university like that, in the States and in Canada. You need also extracurricular activities. You need to show that you're doing something outside of the classroom. In my case, that was directing student council, doing soccer, for instance, training soccer. Also participating in a scholarship from Stanford, an online sort of course. So there's this part of extracurricular activities. And then also after that, you need to write essays and you need to prepare for the interviews, as well as the standardized tests. So you have to take SATs, ACTs, TOEFL to show your English proficiency. So you start taking action. Don't wait for someone to tell you how to get in or how to pursue what you want to do. And then the next thing is work hard. So, and one of my many mentors, many idols that I have is Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's someone that I had been following a lot, especially since grade 10. And he said, you never want to fail because you didn't work hard enough. And I pass on this same message to you. Yes, many of you will start finding or already know sort of an idea of what I want to do, or sort of have an idea of what kind of life I want to live, or what kind of university I want to get into. And you're going to start thinking big and start aiming higher and higher, such as K, trying to get into UCLA. And then the next thing is going to be, You have to work hard to actually achieve your goals. It's not just sitting down and putting in a little bit of effort. You have to be working hard, and to sort of show what that might look like. In order for me to get into UC Berkeley, I had to do IB diploma program at a level where I could get 42. And also, I had to be leading the student council. I was doing, I went to Thailand for a service trip. I volunteered as a healthcare worker. And then also, I participated in the Egypt program, which was like 6 months of online course. And then also, I founded my edtech company, Reach Best, to help high school students get into universities. And then I participated in the Harvard Innovation Challenge. I was in the football club here in Aoba. And I was training here the under 12 kids for soccer. And I was doing things with my friends. I had to attend my family responsibilities. So, and then after that, I applied to 16 universities from the US, UK, Canada, where I had to write 26 essays. So in order to accomplish your goals, you have to work very hard. And this one cannot be stated enough. Yes, you have to start with a vision, with the goal of where you want to end up. But then after that, you have to put in the effort to make those dreams come true. And so that you can be happy, so that you can be fulfilled, so that you can feel accomplished and good about yourself. And then the other thing is, you can ask for help. This is my fifth and final advice. No one does it alone. I didn't do it alone. In order for me to be juggling all these activities and stuff, I had to ask for Miss Kate's help. I had to ask for Miss Hiromi's help to help me lead the student council while I was doing healthcare volunteering in Thailand. When I was doing student council and Stanford Japan, I had to ask my fellow directors to sort of help me. I had to ask Raya to help me sort of juggle the marketing part of student council. You can ask for help. And this one is really important. If you're feeling stressed as well, it's okay to say, hey, I need help with universities. I need help finding out what I want. Or I need just help doing this activity that I'm doing. And then, so restating what I said in the beginning, it is up to you to decide what kind of university life you want. You have that choice. And none of you are too late. Even grade 12. Even if Aoba finishes, that doesn't mean it's the end of the world. If you're in grade 10, you're in great timing. If you're in grade 11, it's great timing. If you're in grade 12, it's also great timing. Life doesn't end at the end of high school. That's just the beginning. And then you get what you put in. You're going to get to your results based on how much effort you put in. So you get out what you put in. And then, finishing up with this, your time is limited. So don't waste it living someone else's life. Yes, you can use what I'm about to tell you in the Q&As, for instance, or what I sort of told you briefly in this presentation. But that doesn't have to be the entirety of your inspiration. You can look elsewhere. YouTube is a great resource. Netflix is a great resource. I know many of you watch Netflix. I also watch Netflix. So, to finish off, I want to ask all of you to reflect. What university life do you want? And really think about it. And with that, thank you very much. And here you go. We can do the Q&A. Yeah.
I'm sure you'll have very good questions to ask him after this amazing presentation. If you have any questions, raise your hand up.
questions about yourself, questions about university, am I doing things right, where should I go, what do I have to do, questions about Aoba, IB, GLD, about university life, about how I chose my university, about the essays. There you go. Oh, and could you say your name, just so that I don't forget? Yeah.
My name is Julian. I'm in grade 10, and it's more of a kind of person. I tend to rely on motivation when I do work, and I just want to know on how you, I guess, plan out all of the and design all of the plan into going your university without getting
demotivated. Like staying motivated, you mean?
Yeah, staying motivated and not getting worn out in the process.
Thank you. No, that's a great question, Julian, and I'm glad you asked it. So, I'll tell you the secret on how to not get demotivated, to not wear out, to not be overwhelmed. That's when you have to find your vision, how you're doing the things that you are doing. Because that becomes sort of a justification for why you're getting tired, for why you're sweating, for why you're crying sometimes, and for why you're feeling happy, for why you're feeling overjoyed and ecstatic. So finding out why you're putting all this hard effort into, by telling yourself, I'm doing this because I'm shooting for this goal. That's how you stay motivated, as well as asking for help. Because as I said, no one does it alone. So if you're lacking motivation, for instance, you can go to YouTube, look up motivational speeches. I can recommend one by Arnold Schwarzenegger, where he says the 5 rules of success. And it has great music. And when I was in grade 10, and Daiki knows this, I would watch 5 times a week. To me, that I'm to go to the best university in the world. Yeah? I hope that helps.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyone else?
A few questions. First one is, what do you major in your university?
I major in business and political science.
Okay. And when you chose your university, did you go through any resources, or did you attend university fair? Was it?
College fair
The
here at
college fair,
Aoba. Yeah.
How many of those?
Yeah, you can pass me that. Thank you, Kotori, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So great question. Thank you so much for that. In order to choose my university, what kind of resources did I use? I started with the rankings. That's a good place to start. And then I started looking at the rankings for a specific subject. So I was interested in business or entrepreneurship and political science and international relations. So I looked at the specific rankings for that. But something that is very important when choosing your school, your university, or any life, or friends, or anyone really, you have to make sure that the counterparts or the university fits with who you are, with what you want. So that's what they call best fit university. It has to fit with your values, with what you're passionate about, with what you want to do in the future. Because maybe it fits very well with your values, but it doesn't offer the program that you want. Then it's not the best fit university for you. And it was a lot of reflection from my part of what do I want, what is it that I really want. And to sort of share how I came to that conclusion, I found out, and this was not until after the university decision results. So I applied, and then I got the results, and then I found my best fit university around April or something. And the most important reason why I chose UC Berkeley was because of what I call the elated energy bias. Just this concentration of potential and so much energy, because the chancellor, Carol Christ, she's new, she just came to campus, and she's doing major changes to the whole educational system. And that affects how students sort of think of themselves and what they want to do. So right now, if you're in UC Berkeley, you'll find that everyone is trying to put the next unicorn, which is like $1 billion startup. Everyone is trying to go after the Nobel Prize winners. Everyone is trying to go after the literature awards. Everyone is trying to be sort of the best version of themselves and trying to go as high as they can. So that was something that I really liked from UC Berkeley. And then other than that, it goes along with my majors or what I want to study. So UC Berkeley, being in Silicon Valley, it's the hub for entrepreneurship. So all the people who want to start businesses go to Silicon Valley. And you either go to Stanford or to UC Berkeley. And why UC Berkeley was a better fit for me than Stanford was, because in UC Berkeley, there's this second sort of aspect where they care about the social issues. They care about the impact on the people. While in Stanford, it's more about how much money can you make. And then the third thing was it's a great place for political science. So right now in UC Berkeley, I'm a part of this organization, which is like a student government, where I get to learn how politics works, how to run a campaign, how to lead. So I'm director of international affairs right now in this. And I'm leading the Department of International Affairs, advocating for all the international students in Berkeley, providing outreach program, setting up like policies to sort of support and make sure that all the international students are included. So that's how I found my best fit university, by looking first at the rankings, and then from that, you start looking for this more abstract and more conceptual things about the university. Thank you so much.
So my name is Beckham and I'm in grade 10. And I was wondering about, like, you said founded, so I was wondering if you could explain more about, like, what that is.
Sure. Thank you so much, Beckham. Grade 10, correct? Yeah. So the company that I started is this one. It's called Reach Best. And I started it initially because I needed extracurricular activities. That's how it started. And basically what it does, or what we do in this one, is to help high school students sort of find their best fit university and then launch them towards actually taking action, and how they should be taking action, when they should be taking action. And right now with Reach Best, what I'm doing is I hire interns, like in November or something, to get to send out surveys. I know some of you got surveys, and then do like a market research to find out how our target customers want the services and how can we best help them. So that's what we're doing right now. Thank you.
help the students in any way, that is very welcome too.
Or
my name is Ken, I'm in grade 10. You said listening to motivational speeches earlier, but I want to ask you for any other habits that you had that brought you
UC Berkeley. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Could you pass me just microphone? Thanks. Ken, right? Yes. Great question. Thank you so much for that. I would say, so besides watching sort of this motivational speeches on YouTube, something else that has helped me a lot is to ask for help. And it sounds a little bit generic, but when you actually try to put it into practice, it's a lot more of a skill, and it takes a lot of perseverance to actually get the help that you need. Because everyone can ask for help, but getting exactly the help that you need is something that does require sort of consistency of like reaching out to whoever is actually whoever you're trying to get help from. So that would be one. So every time I was struggling, for instance, in one of my classes or with one of my activities, first of all, I had to find out who was the right person to sort of seek support from. And then actually getting the support from him or her. And then after that, in order to make sure that, so another thing that I really like, and this one probably would be another sort of habit that I would encourage all of you to have, and I'm still building myself, is to not just take from people, but also remember to give back to the people that helped you and to other people that didn't ask for your help necessarily. So whenever I asked for help from someone, I would always make sure to sort of give back and help them in any way that I could to that person. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here. I'm trying to help you guys to sort of start taking action and start envisioning of what you want to do in the future. So those two things would be habits that I think helped me get to where I'm standing right now. Thank you.
We have time for one more question, if anyone has any.
I personally feel I'm a little shy for asking questions. So I usually rely myself on YouTube or my tuitions that I do, but I really feel that that's not really the best option for me. How can I not exactly motivate myself, but make myself not as shy so I can ask more questions to those teachers so they could also help me. So relying on YouTube, that's not exactly the best source for me.
Thank you, Hank. I'll just move here. So that is a great question. And I think the answer applies to everyone here. Because you will find that you're not the only shy guy to ask questions or ask for help. Every one of us is sometimes, at some point in our life, too shy, or you don't feel confident enough, or you don't feel like there's a connection enough with the other person to ask for help or to ask for support. So probably the advice that I would give you, and this one applies to everyone, is to find the courage, because it's not have the courage. No one has the courage inherently. You're not born with that courage. You have to find it, and you have to strengthen it to be able to ask for the help that you need. And the other thing would be to also think about, again, the idea of being proactive, not reactive. So the thing is, the thing that makes me not nervous about sort of looking for help or looking for other resources and starting to take action, take initiative independently would be that I tell myself that if I don't do it, if I don't ask for help, then no one will come and help me. It's not until you ask for it, or it's not until you seek what you're looking for that you're going to get it. It's very rare that things will just come to you and just magically you will become the greatest singer of all times. You have to look for it, you have to build towards it, and you have to work towards it. By telling myself that if I don't do this, no one else will. If I don't do this for myself, no one else will do it for me. And I even tell myself that not even my parents will do it for me. It's up to me. That's how, when I put it that way, it just gives me the confidence, or it just, instead of becoming of, I want help, it becomes of, I must get the help for myself. Otherwise, I mean, it's never going to happen. Does that help you? Yeah. Okay, awesome.
This will be all for the Q&A session. But if you couldn't think of any question right now and you may have one later, please send an email to Ms. Hiromi, and then she will organize with you to contact me and ask any questions regarding university pathways. And as a appreciation for you, we have a gift from Aoba for your spending your time here, sharing your experience with your limited time in Japan. So yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Could you have a round of applause for you, sir?
Thank you. Thank you.
Very much for sharing the experience. I hope that we have some chocolates. Alright, so from now on, you are going to have period 6 is advisory session, and it's SEL, okay, for the first time. Today, Mr. Morris and Mr. Lancaster's, Mr. Morris and Mr. Budo's class advisory group will lead the session, okay? And Mr. Budo's, Miss Pretty's, Mr. Safer's,